ETF a Bitcoin. Imagine what we could do with all financial instruments. ETFs are going to be the new engine for fixed income. And boy, did that get a lot of ridicule by many people in the business community. And today, the fixed income markets are totally imbued by ETFs. At BlackRock, when we bought BGI, we had $290 billion of ETFs. Today, we have $3.5 trillion. We launched the iShares Bitcoin ETF.
Wait a minute, everyone. Get ready for the ultimate crypto investing website, the Bitcoin Seller. It's your golden ticket to an exclusive insiders club. Expert predictions, on-chain data, and breaking news, all for you. Imagine all crypto insights landing in your inbox daily, like having your own expert team. Don't miss this VIP opportunity. Click the link and secure your spot. Join now and ride the crypto roller coaster with the Bitcoin Seller. Larry Fink, the CEO of BlackRock, the largest asset manager in the world. He will share his views on Bitcoin ETFs, a new type of investment that could revolutionize the financial markets. What are Bitcoin ETFs? How do they work? And why are they so important for the future of money? You don't want to miss this exclusive interview with one of the most influential figures in the industry. So grab your coffee and join us as we keep chatting with Larry Fink.
For the first 3 years of thinking about it, I was a naysayer, and about 2 years ago, I switched, and I'm actually, as I said in the last 2 years, I'm a big believer. I don't want to compete with our clients, so I don't buy single assets. I'll buy mutual funds. I'll buy single ETFs. So I have an opportunity to do that now. But I'm a believer in it because I do believe it is an alternative source for wealth holding. I don't believe it's ever going to be a currency. I believe it's an asset class. I think we are going to create digital currencies. We're going to use the technology for it. We're going to use the blockchain. I believe, it goes up if the world is more frightened, if people have fearful of geopolitical risk, they're fearful of their own risk. It's no different than what gold represented over thousands of years. It is a asset class that protects you.
Right.
And unlike gold, where we manufacture new gold, we're almost at the ceiling of the amount of Bitcoin that'd be created. What we are trying to do is offer an instrument that can store wealth. I think if it gets that even close to that high, gold will represent even a bigger value. And let's be clear, if you think of digital gold, there's going to be a reference point between gold and Bitcoin. But let me get back to what happened yesterday. A part of our announcement that you mentioned in the opening, that we changed the architecture of our firm.
Right.
And much of it has to do with how we think about iShares and ETFs. When we bought BGI, very few people believed in that acquisition. And we were pretty mistreated for a couple of years, because we said active and passive can coexist. Obviously, we were right on that too. We said the fixed income market will be transformed through ETFs. That has now happened. Yesterday, we had the first day of Bitcoin ETFs. In our reorganization is taking that ethos of what has happened over the last 10 years. We believe ETFs is the technology that's going to transform every asset class. We believe everything will be done through ETFs. And so we believe this is just the beginning. Rick is now doing more ETFs in his active space now. There's a great example of how we are taking what a very active investor and putting that into an ETF platform. Let me be clear. I think ETFs are step one in the technological revolution in the financial markets. Step two is going to be the tokenization of every financial asset. And to me, this is where we believe it's going. So we're looking at Bitcoin, we're looking at ETFs in the same manner. These are technological changes that can allow us to move forward. Primarily, we're trying to create an opportunity for new customers can invest in this financial instrument. Over the long run, do we believe, just think about the fee differential between an ETF and some of these trusts.
Right.
These trusts are like 120 basis points, and these are 20 to 30 basis points in the ETF wrapper. And this is the big issue with the SEC. This is something what you may want to ask Gary. The industry asked to transfer in kind into an ETF, and that was denied by the SEC. That's a fine. So that there would be no tax ramifications. That was not denied. They wanted to really just create from scratch cash only, which we all respect the SEC's reasoning. Start adding up the fees and adding up the fees. People are going to start thinking about redeeming and then ultimately going into an ETF. I see value in having an Ethereum ETF. As I said, these are just stepping stones towards tokenization. And I really do believe this is where we're going to be going. We have the technology to tokenize today. If you want to think about this. If you had a tokenized security and you have a tokenized identity, you, Andrew, the moment you buy or sell an instrument, it's known. It's on a general ledger that is all created together. You want to talk about issues around money laundering and all that. This eliminates all corruption by having a tokenized system.
Larry Fink tells us why he likes Bitcoin and ETFs. He says he used to doubt Bitcoin, but now he thinks it is a good way to save money. He says Bitcoin is like digital gold, but there is only a limited amount of it. He says he wants to help people save money in Bitcoin with ETFs. He also says ETFs are changing how we invest in everything. He says he bought a company that was good at making ETFs, and it was a smart move. He says he launched the first Bitcoin ETF yesterday, and it was very popular. He says he has other ETFs that are managed by experts. He says ETFs are the first step to making everything digital. He says the next step is tokenization, which means making digital tokens for any asset. He says he is looking at both Bitcoin and ETFs to do that. He says tokenization can make the financial system better and safer. He says he wants to have an ETF for Ethereum, another cryptocurrency that supports tokenization. He says this is the future of finance.
When we bought BGI in 2009, we were ridiculed by most of the financial community for saying you cannot marry the culture of an active investor, who we were, and a passive culture. And we said, why? Our clients use both products. Our job is to be agnostic to our clients, to work with our clients, and to provide a whole portfolio solution. But over time, more and more clients started to think about, how do I want to get an exposure? Do I want an exposure in this area or this product? And I can do that through actively investing in ETFs. In 2012, we said ETFs are going to be the new engine for fixed income. And boy, did that get a lot of ridicule by many people in the business community. And today, the fixed income markets are totally imbued by ETFs. And so at BlackRock, when we bought BGI, we had $290 billion of ETFs. Today, we have $3.5 trillion. And then this week alone, just yesterday, we launched the iShares Bitcoin ETF. And so I would say to you, if we could ETF a Bitcoin, imagine what we could do with all financial instruments. And so what we announced in our architectural change, iShares was this business division in itself. And we thought that's too exclusive. We needed to include the ethos, the philosophy, the spirituality of what iShares can provide in everything we do at BlackRock, because we believe we're just halfway there in the ETF revolution, that everything is going to be ETF'd. And we needed to ensure both active products, passive products, digital products are going to be used through the vehicle of ETFs. At the same time, in this architectural change, we're elevating the whole concept that we are going to be curating more and more of our performance-based products too. So it's a very large architectural change. A lot of people have asked me, iShares is the most successful division within BlackRock. Look what it did. Why are you doing this now? And we believe it's so important to be anticipating the next move. I would also say on the beginnings of a ETF Bitcoin, we believe ETFs are a technology no different than Bitcoin was a technology for asset storage. We believe the next step going forward will be the tokenization of financial assets. And that means every stock, every bond will have its own, basically, CUSIP. It'll be on one general ledger. Every investor, you and I, will have our own number, our own identification. we could rid ourselves of all issues around illicit activities around bonds and stocks and digital by having a tokenization. But the most importantly thing, we can customize strategies through tokenization that it fits every individual. We would have instantaneous settlement. Think about all the costs of settling bonds and stocks. But if you had a tokenization, everything would be immediate because it's just a line item. And so we believe this is a technological transformation for financial assets. I believe if you want to talk about like voting and voting choice and all the things, if we know every moment who is the owner of that stock and it's now time to vote, every individual who has ownership is identified and they can vote their own shares. It's just it's a wrapper. It's not the end of it, but I would say the dominant form of bringing products going forward will be in the form of ETFs.
Larry Fink tells us how he changed his company, BlackRock, to focus more on ETFs and how they can make everything digital. He says he bought a company, BGI, that was good at making ETFs, and many people laughed at him. He says he proved them right because ETFs are now very popular and efficient. He says he launched the first Bitcoin ETF yesterday, and it was very successful. He says he changed his company structure to use ETFs for everything, both active and passive products. He says he wants to be ready for the next move. He also says the next move is tokenization, which means making digital tokens for every asset. He says this can make the financial system more transparent, secure, and efficient. He says if you have a tokenized security and a tokenized identity, you can buy or sell anything instantly, and everyone can see it on a shared ledger, called the blockchain. He says this can eliminate corruption and money laundering. He says you can also customize your strategies and settle your trades immediately. He says this is the future of finance. And don't forget to subscribe to Bitcoin Seller. You will get the most important news in your inbox every day and for free. Don't miss this opportunity. If you like the video, hit that like button and subscribe for more daily updates. Remember, knowledge is power, and we're here to help you on your money journey. Until next time, happy investing.